Hi everyone. Today I'll be talking about my project called Verify This, a project based on creating conversation around fact-checked news articles. So who am I? Well, my name is Kerem Inal, and I'm interested in misinformation and fact-checking. I'm also interested in engaging online communities. I got interested in misinformation and fact-checking during the election land project we all did with ProPublica. There we did verification information and verification news during the 2018 midterm elections. After that, I decided to continue this field that I was interested in. And I did my internship at a Turkish fact-checking news organization called Tate. There, I fact-checked viral news online, and I created reports around them. While my time there, I found that there was an issue between their critics and the organization itself. There wasn't any good communication between the two. So when I came back, I decided to change my community and do something about it. So who exactly am I serving right now? Well, I'm serving Americans who do not trust fact-checking organizations. So who are these people? They're mainly conservatives who actively participate in online forums talking about political issues. They're good with technology, and they all have specific opinions and reasons why they don't trust fact-checking organizations. So what is the problem that they're facing? Well, they're not being heard by the fact-checking organizations. And they don't have a space where they can collectively talk about their issues. And they don't trust fact-checkers, which is important. The reason that's important is almost half of the country, if almost half of the country doesn't trust fact-checking, then the spread of misinformation will not be slowed, and it will continue to spread. So, what steps did I take to understand this community? Well, I've had to look at what people have done before me. I looked at a lot of articles about trust, media bubbles, and about how Republicans don't trust fact-checking organizations. And I found this research done by Pew Research Center that states that 70% of Republicans think that fact-checkers have a bias. While on Democrats, only 29% think this way. So after this, I decided to do my own data collection. I had to understand who this community was in a deeper level. So I went on Twitter, Reddit, and other social media platforms, and I tried to understand what these people's concerns were. How did they express these concerns? Who they actually were, and if they were only trolls or not. After that was enough for me. I had to go deeper. So I did ethnography. So I have an anthropological background, and I know about ethnography. And ethnography is basic ethnography done online. So I started by doing observation. I went on their online forums, and I tried to understand what sources they use, how they comment, and what kind of phrases they use amongst each other, how they talk to each other. I didn't do any participating here. After that, I did some partisan observation. I answered their questions. I asked them questions. I asked questions to the whole forum and got a lot of answers. After that, I talked to journalists involved in fact-checking to understand what their views are on this issue. So my findings. There is some conversation between journalists and their critics, but it's not done publicly. It's done in private, in one-on-one emails, or in conversation. They hate Snopes, which is a fact-checking organization. They mainly say because they entered the political fact-checking news very late. They think that all fact-checkers have a left-leaning bias. And for them, doing your own research is very important and a proud thing to do. And they love explaining what kind of their research steps. And this leads in to them not reading fact-checker articles. So exactly what is my project here? I'm creating a space for people who distrust fact-checking to allow them to voice their concerns. So how am I doing this? I'm doing this in 3 separate ways. Firstly, I created a subreddit called Verify This. There I engage people on an article basis. I ask people their opinions on an article and try to get feedback from them. I have 73 members here who are interested in this project, and I'm trying to engage them daily. Then I have a Medium publication where I mainly posted about who I was and what my project is. I aim to publish more articles here about this issue. And I finally have my own website called verifythis.link. Here, I allow users to come in, pick an article, and then annotate the article. I allow them to highlight specific parts and comment on them. This gives readers the ability to talk about certain parts of articles instead of talking about the organization itself. People can comment on each other's comments, and hopefully, I want to get more journalists involved here and to create conversation based on specific parts of articles rather than the organization itself. So what was my impact? This was a comment that a Reddit user gave me. He apologized for being aggressive towards me after a very long conversation. It was a very good conversation. And I felt that this was the kind of respect we needed. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, but we were able to talk about this. So what was my impact in numbers? I had 4 annotations made on my website. I have 73 members to my subreddit. And I finally have more than 100 comments on various subreddits that I went to. And I asked questions, and I answered their questions. So what did I learn from all this? I learned that we must understand criticism in order to build on it. I understood the importance of working from the ground up. I went to my community first to try to understand what their needs are. And that's what we learned here at Social J. I learned that being transparent goes a long way. At the beginning of the project, I was just a journalist. I didn't say my name. I didn't want to get too involved, I guess. But after I put out my name, after I put out my previous work, I got a lot more attention and a lot more comments. And failing is half the work. I mean, I failed a lot doing this project. And that's very important to understand. And building on that failure is also very important. Important. So what's the future of Verify This? I want to continue this annotation software and allow more people to come in to comment. I want to collaborate with journalists and fact checkers so they can come in and talk with these people and create a conversation. I want to write articles on this issue. And I want to continue my talks with conservatives. Thank you for listening.